I'm interested in your take. In is vulnerability something that is talked about in the classroom from a business standpoint?
Well, first, let me go back to that point and say, we think the data says that the number one reason that people fail in business is because they run out of cash. And I would suggest that if you really look at the data, it says they run out of cash because they don't know how to manage the cash. And so I think the number one reason, and I've seen this in the expensive textbooks, which we don't use because they're so expensive, but I think the number one reason people fail in business is because they don't know what they don't know. And that's why if you try it again the second or third time, we have the serial entrepreneur. Those people, they figured it out and they know what they need to pay attention to. So it goes back to failure. I don't want to be vulnerable. And then when I fail, I want to withdraw. And, you can't tell somebody not to feel a certain way. Years ago, they had this thing called Marriage Encounter. And you would go and you'd write notes to each other back and forth and things like that for 3 days. One of the things I learned in that was feelings are neither good nor bad. They just are. And I tell my students, when you write in your papers how you feel, I can't really argue that. I can argue an opinion. I can argue a position, but I can't argue your feeling because they're real to you. They may not support this argument but I can't argue that. So do we talk about vulnerability? Yeah, well, because we look at vulnerability from a faith perspective. We look at it and say, I believe you have another source of inspiration. You have another person standing with you. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. I will never leave you nor forsake you. So you have that solid foundation. I just interviewed a gentleman who was in prison and God really turned his life around, not necessarily through spiritual things, but through some of his reading and just getting perspective. And he came out, and then he ended up going back to his faith. And I'm not sure if I'm supposed to talk about his role or not, but he's in a very influential role now in his community. And he said that I was talking about vulnerability, just being able to be honest with your failure and recognize that is really the first step to move forward with that. And sometimes people are not able to be transparent at that. When he brings people in now and he has people that he works with who've been incarcerated or have been their junior young men and women, unless they're willing to be honest about the fact that they failed, he's not going to work with them. But also it's having support. So he talked about a lot about, you have the support of people. So even though you screwed up, so where's the support? You're trying to, in a virtual way with Startwheel, provide support. You've got the mentor. I saw the mentor list this morning, a lot of really super people on there, but I've got to ask for that. And really what should happen maybe in your program is where you say, hey, look, we're not giving you money unless you have a mentor. We're not going to give you, this resource unless you need to talk to that person, because then that person's going to help you, whether you think you need them or not. You do, unless you're, doing this very successfully without the help. And even then you still may need someone. You either should be mentoring someone or have a mentor, right? That's kind of the responsibility of our lives, is pouring in and pouring out, right?
I mean, there's just so many opportunities by just raising your hand. And I think so many people, for whatever reason, I guess it's just being timid, shy, scared of the unknown, of raising your hand and seeing where that thing can go. But,
I think it's you, Zack. I think people are scared of you because you have such a strong personality. I'm teasing a little. Am I allowed to tease on the video?
You can tease as much as you want. I mean, if you want to see strong personality, let me show you this.
I don't have hair, so I'm not scary. If I had hair, I'm sure I'd be scary.
Well, I mean, the hair used to be like spiked up like crazy, and then I was like, I got my COVID hair on. I got my. At first, I was like, let's just see how long, and then I was like,
my own hair for a while. My wife said, "Listen, I don't care COVID or not. You better stop that. It's kind of ugly."
I think Tim's hair is longer than mine.
No, it's not.
It's not?
No.